update 10 on Typhoon Rammasun, which has rapidly intensified in the past few hours and is now a Category 4 typhoon with winds of 140 miles per hour and a pressure of 937 millibars. Its position is 18.5 degrees north, 113.4 degrees east as of 8 p.m. UTC, July 17th. And the storms are expected to make landfall either on Hainan Island or slightly further north on the mainland of China as a strong typhoon. Category 3 or 4 are expecting at this stage because the storm is drawing closer to that area. It may re-emerge over the Gulf of Tonkin before making another landfall in Vietnam. Either way, northern Vietnam will be affected by the storm and could receive typhoon conditions along the coast depending on where exactly the storm tracks. But southern China in particular is under the gun at the moment and could see winds of up to 140 miles per hour. Signal 3 warnings in effect now for Hong Kong and Macau, and orange typhoon warnings remain in effect for southern China, and those in Vietnam should also be watching the storm too, as typhoon conditions could occur there as far south as wherever this line depicts here along the Vietnamese coast, just south of Hanoi. But that's the current situation, and that's what we're likely to see over the next few hours and days. The island of Hainan in particular should be preparing the most for this storm. This is the past few hours on the satellite imagery. You can see how the eye has reappeared and has been moving towards the northwest or west-northwest perhaps, and is likely to reach China tomorrow. Sea surface temperatures remain fairly warm as well, 30 degrees or so, perhaps even 32 degrees in the Gulf of Tonkin to the west of Hainan, but obviously very warm waters all the way until land interaction spoils the storm's fun, I suppose you could say. This is the wind shear. You can see how a high amount of wind shear just to its west and southwest, which could possibly interfere with the storm as it gets close to land, so it could weaken before it makes landfall, but low amounts of shear beyond there as well, so beyond Hainan it probably won't weaken too much more via shear, but by land interaction of course it will weaken rather quickly. Water vapor is not an issue for the storm, dry air is well out of the picture. The computer models, obviously this storm is pretty much a foregone conclusion, but the CMC does move it towards the northwest to a landfall in China, the mainland, and bypassing Hainan almost completely, and another typhoon forming behind that and stalling near Okinawa, which would be a very bad situation for Japan and Okinawa in particular after Neoguri last week. A GFS model I think has it slightly further to the south, if we look here again with the storm, to the south, making landfall in Hainan and then Vietnam, and that storm behind it moving towards the north and affecting the Japanese islands as well. The latest satellite imagery, this is the floater imagery here, you can see it passing Hainan on the left hand side there, so the GFS has it moving towards the west from here on in, but the CMC has it towards the northwest, and by the looks of things it looks like the northwest scenario may come true, and that would mean a landfall further north beyond Hainan Island and then in Guangzhou province in China. But obviously a very strong storm has been intensifying rapidly in the past few hours. There's no real rules that say the storm can't intensify any further. It is already 140 miles per hour Category 4, but you would expect it to weaken in around 12 hours time, if not sooner. As of July the 17th at 8 p.m. UTC, the tropics are active. 1C has formed in the Central Pacific, a new depression there, as well as another one, 10W, in the Western Pacific, which has formed east of the Philippines. There are also 4 other invests active, 97S in the Southern Indian Ocean, as well as 94, 95 and 96W in the Western Pacific. 37 storms have formed so far. That may change very soon in light of other storms. 15 of those have become Category 1 hurricane equivalent cyclones with winds of 74 miles per hour and higher, and 9 of those have become Category 3 storms with winds of 115 miles per hour plus. Of course, Rammasun reached that intensity twice. Obviously that doesn't count towards the 10th. You can follow Force 13 on any of its 6 outlets. The website is the main place to be for all the updates. Force13.com will keep you most up to date with all the goings on around the world by basin. And then, of course, the video pages, YouTube and Dailymotion, will keep you up to date with regular video updates on Force 13. Just search Force 13 in the link. And of course the social pages too, Facebook and Twitter, just search Force 13 on those. It's at Force 13 on Twitter if you'd like to get in touch through those mediums or share any of the media that comes out of those pages too. And of course you can speak to me personally at Fool13 on Skype if you so wish for tropical weather chat on there as well. The next update on this storm will follow at either 2 a.m. UTC on July the 18th if necessary, or 2 p.m. UTC that same day. That's either late morning or late evening local time.